And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our Ag Director Bridgette Readel. And it's a beautifully cloudy day out there today. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 60s. We were hoping to see a little more sunshine today, but unfortunately for now, the clouds are winning out. I do think we'll see a little more sunshine, though, as we head towards late afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our Ag Director Bridgette Readel. Bridgette, I see sunshine where you're at, I believe.
Yeah, you may think that it's cloudy, but no, it is 68 degrees. It's a little bit breezy, and I can see lots of sunshine here in Jamestown.
Good
I'm
deal.
right near Jamestown, North Dakota.
Yeah, the further west you go from the valley, the more sunshine you're going to get. But yeah, we're kind of stuck in those clouds here in the valley. But like I said, we'll see a little more sunshine as we head throughout the day. And temperatures currently, as Bridgette said, even out around Jamestown through the valley, we're in the upper 60s. And we're going to continue to see those temperatures climb up today into the low to some spots mid 70s with a south-southeast wind. A little breezy, about 15 to 30. A cold front will swing through the area tonight. We'll drop off to a low into the lower 40s. And then as we head into Friday, a north wind at 10 to 20 will usher in slightly cooler weather. We'll top out right around the low 60s. Then as we head into the weekend, we're looking at temperatures in the low 70s. Plenty of sun to start Saturday, but clouds will increase by late in the day. That will lead to some showers coming in here on Saturday night. And then Sunday, a breezy, mild day with more scattered storms coming in late in the day on a cold front with highs, again, right around the 70-degree mark. And then cooler weather enters the area for next week as we turn the corner into the middle of the month. And we'll see a couple more storm systems midweek and towards the end of next week as well. And today's weather has been brought to you by Progressive Risk Management Specialist. So we're looking at a more typical fall-like weather next week. I've had numerous emails asking what the LRC, how the LRC is setting up, and what we know so far. So we're in the first week of the LRC with above normal temperatures. So what that tells us is more than likely the start of each cycle, we will have above normal temperatures, at least for the first part of it, and then we'll slide off and more than likely start to turn stormier. I got a scathing email today, Bridgette, from one of our astute listeners.
Oh, not the one from me. Never mind. You're
No,
okay.
no. I haven't read that. I haven't read that one yet. I got chewed out. I got chewed out, and I understand what this individual's saying, but I got chewed out rather politely. We don't need the rain. We don't need the rain. We're in the middle of harvest. I understand that. I do understand that. We do need the precip. Here's why. Because if we continue this dry streak, even during harvest here, we continue this dry streak for another week or two, then we're looking at a very dry LRC cycle, and then that will bleed into next spring, which is not good for our ag community next spring. So we've got to balance it out a little bit. So although we do need the precip, I understand that we don't need it right now, but at this point, it's kind of like we'll take what we can get, just because, again, this will pan out through the winter and into the spring months, and we don't want a dry 2 to 3 week start to the LRC cycle. That would not be beneficial for any of us as we head into next spring.
Well, let me give you some alternatives to that.
Okay.
One is I'd really like a frost because I'm tired of every fly in Stutzman County trying to get into my pickup right now while I'm parked here. So I could the bug population needs to die. Number one. Two, I think that all right. Let's just talk this out. If we do have a dry fall and we go into this winter dry, and we even open up the spring with a rather dry situation, I don't look at that as totally the end of the world. Here's why. Pastures right now probably had a pretty good summer. I think that if we were to freeze up with some moisture on the pastures, that would be nice because when the spring comes and those pastures open up, they're going to green up really nicely and quickly and just turn into something good for all of those excellent cattle that are out there right now. For our cropping systems, if we're dry going into fall, we get all of our combining done, and believe me, those guys up around the Devil's Lake Basin, I'm getting pictures daily of how much water is there. They're stuck. They're thinking they can't get back in.
Yeah,
they can't get back into combine until it does freeze hard so that they can even travel the fields. So I know why folks around us in the southern half of the state want things to stay dry. Come spring, it never fails. We worry about it being a dry spring. We worried about not being too much moisture. And we've done it at least 2 years in a row now, where we get to the end of May after most of the crop is planted, and then we have a 3-week delay because we start getting rain on that planted crop. So maybe there's an alternative there that works, not guaranteeing any of it, but we do tend to make some things up, and farmers will tell you they would rather farm on the drier side. Get out of here, fly. They would rather farm on the drier side than they would by heavy moisture. And again, I don't think the drought status monitor has changed yet either, that any part of North Dakota is currently in a dry or abnormally dry. Have we looked?
No, we're not. Now, again, but if this goes another, there are very small slivers of the state that are, well, not in drought conditions, but a little abnormally dry. But for the most part, the state is fine. But again, we tack on another 2 weeks of dry weather, and then that's when things will start to change. But no, you're right. There are parts of the state that don't need any water at all. Like you said, one of those is up around the Devil's Lake Basin. So I wish we could please everybody, but that's unfortunately just not. It's not going to happen.
Dude, that's what you're supposed to do. You're the weather guy.
Oh, of course. That's right.
You'll notice I don't do weather. I don't have to try to get that kind of accuracy. So yes, to those who are listening today, we greatly appreciate you've joined us here in the Coral Laundromat studio, because whether it is wet or dry out there, farming is messy. And especially with some of the big things you've got to take in to get washed, whether it's those rugs from your shop, clothes from when you've been working on equipment that are greasy and dirty, haul those all in and get them taken care of. Don't run them through your washing machine at home. Coral Laundromat there on Veterans Boulevard is here to help you. You can also be watching us today on our live stream, which is on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV. You'll find us at WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm not on the live stream. There's a still picture of me, but that's okay. You can still tune in, see what's going on, and if you miss an episode, you can always go back and find us there. Thank you to Cass County Farm Bureau. They sponsored our Weather and Ag Intern program, and just this week we were joined by John Keldor. John is from the Hillsboro area. We talked a little bit about what's going on his farm. Then additionally, he is an ag economics major at NDSU, and we thank Cass County Farm Bureau for helping us bring students on air and give them a whole different experience when it comes to ag communication. Throughout our day-to-day, as Dean and I visit on a number of topics, you can reach us on the JLA Insurance phone line, 701-293-9000. If you're thinking about what your crop insurance should look like, don't be shy. Give Nate Thorsrud a call with JLA Insurance. He knows the land because he is a farmer, and he can help you with your crop and hail insurance. So some of those things should a little bit of housekeeping for us to get taken care of right off the bat. We don't have a guest today due to folks who have had illnesses and postponing and so forth. And you know what? Sometimes it's just nice to catch up on all the stuff we don't get to talk about on a regular day. I feel like I always have this whole pile of ag topics that we haven't even gotten to. So why not try to have an afternoon to try to work through a few of them?
There you go.
Yeah. One of those can include the fact that, all right, all of you have those decorative items on your front porch waiting for trick-or-treaters. They're awfully pretty when they're all lit up, and they are what?
Well, I'm going to guess jack-o'-lanterns.
Jack-o'-lanterns. Mm-hmm. Pumpkins. Well, what if you're done with them here in a couple weeks after Halloween passes and you're thinking, whatever shall I do with these? Just toss them in the garbage bin? No. Find a farmer with some cattle or goats or sheep. Livestock like pumpkins. Now, let's not take the ones that you super glued sequins to or painted a different color. Probably take the candles out of them, please, because no one's standing by that pen of cattle saying, spit that out of your mouth.
Right.
But they like pumpkins too. They're a different taste. They're a different texture. And especially if they got froze and they start to soften up, it's way easier for the cows to break into them. So, same with a goat. We'll eat anything. Chickens will peck at them, the whole 9 yards. So just think about that. If you have friends with animals, that might be a place to take your pumpkins to be recycled. And that way the animals get to use them a little bit more too.
Interesting.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with I have folks that get an excessive amount of apples on their trees, and they might toss the apples into a box and deliver them to somebody who's got goats, so that the goats can enjoy those as well. Because A, goats will eat anything, and B, we all like a little something different in our diet. Our livestock do too, so we'll give them a shot.
I'm guessing that's good protein for them.
It's a good something for them. It adds to their roughage in their ration.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it gives them a new opportunity of something different to have. So, and I would imagine we can talk more about roughage, their ration, and other things as well. Today's a little bit about livestock, and we will do that after we catch up with the American Ag Network and their livestock report. Talk about corn stalks and what those can do for our cattle as well. So stay tuned. We'll visit about that next. Well, once harvest is over, it's time to make sure that you are taking care of business. Maybe you haven't had a chance to finish off a lot of emails. You might have some information that's due to your accountant, your insurance agent, and others. And you want to make sure that that data is safe. Well, have a discussion with Chris Sherman at Tech Support Farm to make sure that it is. Chris will go through step by step what you need, and you can always go use his website at techsupport.farm and look at the fence check assessment. Do you have what you need? Are you secure so you don't lose any information to hackers and others? Well, check his site out again, techsupport.farm, and that is the fence check assessment. So, Dean, before we went to hear the livestock market, I made mention of corn stalks. And does that strike you as surprising? Because I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the fact that we can, in fact, just feed the stalks to critters.
We can what? Did you say feed?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Corn stalks.
I have heard that before. But which critters?
Well, I'm going to focus primarily on cattle, but there's many who like taking the cobs if there's left, especially if there's leftover kernels on them. But those leftover stalks, leaves, husks, they can all be baled up together. And then you can use that corn stover not only as a good source of refuge for cattle, because if you supplement it with nutrients, that corn stalk can supply the nutritional needs of cows during fall and early winter. You can also use that as livestock bedding. So if perhaps you're short on straw this year or something else and you need to use something different for bedding for animals through the winter months, you could be using this corn stalk. And with high price of traditional forages, farmers are making a little extra money by selling some of those corn stalk bales. Now, there are balers that are specific for corn. They're heavier duty, a little beefier components, and they really handle the dust and the dirt contamination very well. Because if you've ever been in a cornstalk field during combining, you will say that it's a pretty dirty environment, and that's rough on the components on pieces of equipment. So you can chop those if they are too tall, and by that I mean, if you're going through the field and you want to lift the header or whatever cutting bar that you're using to ensure that you don't cut low to the ground, it's probably a good idea if in fact your corn plant was still taking up nitrates before or after a frost. So think about nitrates such as urea, nitrogen, something that the plant is still taking up as part of its late growing season, and those nitrates remain in the plant. When you put corn into silage, the nitrate level will decrease through the ensiling process, but nitrate levels do not decrease if it's cured as a hay. So those nitrates will be in the lower portion of the plant and stalk. So elevate your cutting bar and you can avoid that problem, and you can still go ahead and cut those plants and be using that again for stover, for feed, that type of thing. So it's kind of nice to know that there's a variety of items that we can be using for our cattle, or if we're feeding to goats and hogs and others as well, there's different ways that we can be doing that. So it's good to be the original recyclers. And on farms, we really are. We use all the things in any way that we can.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a picture on break from a farmer sending me pictures of his pumpkins.
That's awesome. Now, so that doesn't. Is there any of the livestock that it can't be fed to, or pretty much it's all good to go?
I think it's all pretty much good to go. But again, some are going to digest better than others, and certainly you can be using that corn stover as a good bedding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't even have to bale it up. If you have corn that was close to your pastures or maybe your home place where you're going to be overwintering them, and you fence off that cornfield, you can just let them roam out in there, and they'll just naturally graze. Saves you and the equipment from having to go out and create the bales. So there's another opportunity as well. If you happen to have a cornfield next to a pumpkin patch, oh, look at that. What a diet, right? You get pumpkins and corn all at the same time for those animals. You just never know what they might like. So when we're talking about beef animals, sometimes the discussion also comes up about a certified organic label. And when you're raising organic livestock, often ranchers see a higher return, can be almost as much as double as what you're seeing when it comes to conventional beef. So recently there was a farmer discussion, it was a panel where they talked about the pros and cons of using this organic certification and the steps that you have to go through, right? It's not fast. You need to make sure that you are following all the right steps. You have to have been organic for a bit of time before you can use that certification. But it's interesting to note, Jason Walker of Star Walker Organic Farms in California, who has been a guest on our show, told us that by using that certified organic certification, they can charge $14 a pound on their beef as compared to conventional beef. And their consumers in California are buying it. So people who have the means choose to do that. Personally speaking, I don't see a big difference between it. I've eaten what we've considered organic versus conventional. I'm sure for some out there they find a difference to it, but overall, I think it's probably more of a challenge when it comes to raising organic beef to make sure that the hay is organic, all the feeds that come in, etc. I think what also makes a difference is you have a guy who can get $14 a pound on their organic ground beef when he's in an area with a heavy, well over 1 million people right around him, versus some other folks who are trying to do this, say, out in Wyoming, where the population of the whole state is only 580,000 people. It's a little tougher to find the folks who are willing to pay that price. So keep that in mind when you are considering what you're buying and how is, what is their certification if that's something you're concerned about and you want to follow up on, but it will certainly raise the cost of the beef that you're about to buy as well. Could make a difference.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
All right. It's all been all about livestock, but we should be all about the news. So let's check in with our bottom of the hour news. And when we return, more stories and headlines to catch up on. We certainly always want to make sure that we recap the weather and more. So stick with us from the Coral Laundromat studio. We are Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us here from the Coral Laundromat studio. We are glad to see you. And if you're watching, especially on the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV, I may not be in studio, but Cooper the cow is. He's sitting in, well, she is sitting in for me at my desk for the day with Dean, and it's working out very nicely. So thanks for hanging in there, Cooper, and being helpful. We appreciate it. Also, a big thanks to those who do part of sponsorship with us for our Here We Grow project. We, in fact, want to give a big thank you to Progressive Ag. They are your risk management specialists. Ray Grabansky and the crew are out to look out for you, help with your commodity training and your crop insurance, commodity trading and crop insurance, and also Vision Ford. Ward Cater and his group down at Vision Ford in Wahpeton are happy to help you with the vehicle of your choice. If there's something that you see on their lot or their website, you don't have to go back to town to take a look at it. Give them a call. They'll bring it right on out to you. In fact, they do that with oil change service. And frankly, thinking that might actually be helpful. I might have to take advantage of that on my next vehicle buy as well. Have them just come right to me instead of me going all the way to Wahpeton. It'd be worth my time.
That's perfect.
Yeah, actually it is. So.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to throw in, I'm feeling a little giving today. In that giving October mood. So we're going to give away. I know Wednesday is our trivia day, and we normally give away our one of our Darter plastic rain gauges. So since we're throwing it, we're gonna do another trivia today, and this one's going to be a tough one. So okay, so far this year, every state. Well, how many states have? We'll make it a little easier. I'm going to confuse everybody if I twist this, but. How many states in the lower 48, again, the lower 48, have not recorded a single tornado so far this season? How many states have 72. Not? No, that's how much we've had here.
Fine.
Yeah, which is a record for North Dakota. If you haven't caught that yet, most tornadoes we had on record. So we will go down in the record books this year. But there's how many states have not recorded a tornado this year? And if you can name all of them, there's not many, but if you can name all of those states, I'll throw in a little something extra outside of the rain gauge. Because it's kind of a tough one. We're not going to make it easy this time. We normally make it easy on Wednesdays.
Okay. Wait. I want to know what you're going to throw in as extra. Like, are you now just going to Uber driver people on a Monday morning to work? What's your plan?
I've got a $20 gift card to Village Inn. So I will throw that in along with one of our Darter plastic rain gauges. So how many states?
Addison, look up the answer, and you and I will split it.
Yeah, right.
$10 a piece, man.
How many states in the lower 48? So we're not counting Alaska and Hawaii. How many states in the lower 48 have not had a recorded tornado so far this season? Caller on line 1. What's your name?
Nope.
All right, and what's your guess? How many states have not had tornadoes so far this season?
I don't know if you tried to trick us or what, or maybe I'm just wrong, but I don't think there's any that have never recorded a tornado in the lower 48.
No, this season. I'm not saying.
Oh, this season. Oh,
just
okay.
This season. Yeah, just this season. Yeah.
Okay.
Just.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right. Now, well,
I was going to tell him to stick with that. Just never know, right?
Right. Exactly.
Don't give up.
Right.
Stand by your answer with firm conviction.
There you go. All right, we've got another caller. Caller, what's your name?
I'm Barb.
Barb, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your guess, Barb?
I'm going to guess 3.
3. No, it's not 3, Barb, but good guess. Good guess. All right, caller, what's your name?
Hi, Justin.
Justin. Wait, this isn't the Justin from yesterday, was it?
No, sir.
Okay, what's your guess, Justin?
Are we talking about the states that have not recorded a tornado?
This season. Yes, just this season.
Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming.
Oh, wow. Very, very close. Very close.
Not including Hawaii and Alaska.
Not including Hawaii and Alaska. You're close. Actually, Wyoming has had 7 so far. This you had Just about everyone, except you're missing one. Justin, try back, man. You're almost on that. All right, we got.
You know what? Wyoming having 7. There's like more. That means if Wyoming had 7 tornadoes, that's more people than in certain counties of there.
Exactly. I know. Right? Caller, what's your name and your guess?
Joel, I'm gonna say 10.
No, Joel, that's a little high. Well, I'll start to give a few hints. Boy, Justin almost had it. The last call. Caller, what's your name? Jeff, what's your guess, man?
I think there was 2, Washington and Idaho.
No. Justin was, if you were listening earlier, Justin almost had it. He was missing one, I believe. He rattled the ones off in the Northeast so quick I didn't catch every one of them, but he was on the right track. Caller, what's your name?
This is Barb again.
Barb, what's your guess?
I'm going to say 8.
Oh, Barb, you're all over it, but not quite. Barb, yeah, that was oh, man. All right. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Steve, what's your guess?
I'm going to say 6.
You're all over it too, Steve. Well, if that doesn't give a hint, I don't know what will. While we're burning time here, Bridgette, let's see if you know this one. So one of my Facebook friends, Heather, I couldn't stop laughing because it's been a long time since I've heard this joke. So what does a rain cloud wear under its clothes? Any idea?
Oh, a wetsuit.
Thunderwear.
Oh.
Boo.
That's a terrible dad joke.
Oh, come on. That's good.
Terrible dad joke.
That is good, man. All right. All right. We're going to go to line 1. Caller, what's your name? Jeff, what is your guess?
5.
No, Jeff, man. So we've had, let's see. Thanks, Jeff. We've had 5. We've had, let's see, 6, 8. I mean, you guys are close. I know. I have a feeling this caller is going to get it. Caller, what's your name?
This is Barb.
Barb. All right. What's your guess, Barb?
I'm saying 7.
You are correct. Now, I was surprised Justin didn't call back because Justin was all over this. All right, so Barb, you got it right. You got it right with 7. What are the states for an additional prize?
Well, I heard Wyoming. See, I can't say them all.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So it's Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, not Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Delaware.
Okay.
West Virginia, and Oregon was the other state that has not had one so far. Now these are preliminary, but that's the way it stands right now. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So those
I've got a cousin in Oregon. I'll have to tell her.
Yeah. And Barb? What state do you think has had the most tornadoes?
Okay, if I'm thinking. Would it be Texas?
Yes. Very good.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, Barb's on fire. Barb, okay, how about the second most? Second most tornadoes.
Second most?
This is only if he drives you to work, Barb. Don't give in that soon.
What's that?
I said, don't give in that soon. Make him come drive you to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
See, I would have thought Kansas or Oklahoma would have been in second place, but it's not. So, Barb, any clue on second place for the most tornadoes this season?
Tennessee? I don't know.
No, it was Illinois. So Texas.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I went to guess that.
I know. Texas had 148, and Illinois is at 136. So,
okay,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, Barb, congratulations. You know where our station is at, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Now, what did I win?
We're right.
That rain gauge?
You won one of our heavy-duty Darter plastic rain gauges. Yeah. So congratulations, Barb. We're gonna put you on hold, and our producer Addison, he will get all of your information, and you can swing by the station whenever you get a chance to pick it up.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you much.
Thanks, Barb.
Enjoy listening to you guys.
Well, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. So there we go. So very good guesses. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Barb, and one of the things you mentioned with Barb was thanks for listening, and she said she does enjoy listening. Well, actually, I had another listener question that came in just this morning that I was able to answer on one of our morning shows. One of our listeners said he had recently bought eggs at a local grocery store and noticed that there were a lot of bumpiness to the shell, and also that he thought the shells were very thin. Well, I didn't go look it up. I'm basing this off of what I know after a couple interviews with some poultry experts, and if we need to dig deeper, we will. But that usually has something to do with what's been in the diet and the feed ration for that particular bird. And so what's probably happening is they might be transitioning to a slightly different feed ration as well because we're into fall and they need something different to help continue their egg laying production because chickens naturally tend to lay less eggs as our days get shorter. So, just like yesterday, we talked about strokes follow the weather, animal patterns follow the weather the same way. So, right now, when we are thinking about what our eggshells might look like, it's nothing bad. They might be a little bit thinner. I'm sure that'll change in time. Don't drop them on the way home. They're just not going to withstand that kind of pressure. But overall, it does not affect their content, their quality, anything like that. Your eggs inside the shell will continue to be just fine. And I'm sure
Interesting.
folks who
Okay.
raise backyard chickens are seeing the same thing. Probably some changes in their eggshells right now as we get to more of a fall and winter daylight length.
Now, would that change on how long you have to hard boil them if you partake in that?
Shouldn't.
No?
It
Okay.
shouldn't change anything about how you cook with them or use them in any
Okay.
way. And bumpy shells, has never. I don't know. I guess I haven't even paid enough attention to tell you if that would be a concern. It hasn't been in my kitchen, but I will tell you that the lady that I get eggs from just up the road from me, she every once in a while gets eggs. She calls them a shellless egg, where if there's a change, a very big change in the diet, it's almost like a rubbery egg that doesn't really have a shell and it's solid, like a stress ball. So I'm waiting, excuse me, I'm
Interesting.
waiting for the day that one of those happens because I'm going to have her bring one to me so I can take a look at it. I'll bring it to the studio.
That'd be it. That would be interesting. Okay.
Oh, so we never know. Maybe one day it'll be a rubber egg.
You got to have an egg fight then.
Tell me if it hurts when I hit you.
Yeah, okay, I know. Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, we're coming up on break, so we got to pay some bills here. But when we come back, we'll have another recap of the weather, and if we have time, which I think we will, Bridgette will go over a few more ag topics. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus on this Thursday, October 9th. Cloudy skies outside, at least here in the valley and points eastward. A little more sunshine out west and in the far northern valley, with temperatures in the upper 60s, warming up into the low 70s, so a few more degrees. I think we'll see a little more sunshine as we head into the latter part of the afternoon area-wide. And then cooler weather for tomorrow as the winds turn to the north, 10 to 20, low 60s, which is still above normal. And then the weekend should have low 70s. Saturday probably being the pick day of the weekend the way it looks right now with more sunshine. Showers and thunder showers come in Saturday night as a warm front lifts north. And then a breezy day on Sunday. And a cold front approaches from the west. That will trigger off a few more scattered showers and thunder showers Sunday late in the day. And then cooler weather in the 50s to start off next week. So a little bit of rain over the weekend, not a whole lot. It looks like a quarter inch, maybe some spots a touch more than that, maybe up to a half inch. And that's going to be focused right along the valley and eastward. The further west you go from the valley, you might not see hardly anything in terms of rainfall. So this is kind of focused on the valley and east of the valley, but points westward, you'll see a little bit, but not that much at all, it looks like.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for all good things, see what it looks like.
Yeah,
but
and
happy fall, y'all.
No doubt. And also tomorrow, since Bridgette's going to be gone, she's getting married. Or I'm sorry, you're going to a wedding. My bad.
Going to a wedding.
You're going to a wedding. And so you will be off tomorrow, and we are going to have Gary Lezak, so the founder of the LRC Weather 2020. So if you have any questions in mind, get those together today and tomorrow, and be sure to call into the show tomorrow. And we'll have Gary on for the full show, and he'll be talking about the LRC and maybe what he sees so far with the start of this LRC cycle and how this might pan out for the rest of the winter. Should be interesting.
Yes,
show.
Tomorrow we'll be, we're going to the chapel and bringing all the pickles. I'm not kidding you. My nephew asked me to make the pickles for the wedding, so the whole back seat of my pickup is full of quart jars.
I saw that. I saw that. Man, that's well.
Yeah. So
your pickles.
Gonna be a day.
Your pickles must be something everybody's talking about if he wants them so bad.
Well, here they come, folks.
All
Everybody
right.
play nice and be ready. So also, other things to look forward to. One of them will be on November 5th. That's a Wednesday. We are having our first ever WDAY radio farm show. It's an all-day long event. We're going to start at 8:30 in the morning, go to 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's all about farming all day long. We're going to have different hours with themes. So whether we're talking about banking, policy, we're going to have folks in that are economists. We're going to talk about risk management with commodities. We'll have to talk about the weather. Dean will be there during the day, parts of the day. And then we're also going to be presenting a check to our charity for our Here We Grow project. So Farm Rescue will be there when Dean is, so we can make sure to say thank you to them and present them with a donation. There's so much more to come. I'm very much looking forward to it. Again, that's Wednesday, November 5th. It is an all-day programming on farming, whether it's agronomy or livestock. We're going to touch on it all, so mark your calendars. It'll be quite an interesting afternoon. Well, I shouldn't even say afternoon. The whole day will be interesting. Let's put it that way. And looking forward to kicking that off.
What time does this start again, Bridget?
8:30 in the morning, and then we will wrap up by about 5 in the afternoon. So yeah, there's a lot to cover.
That's a marathon.
In fact, as I was building this, as I was building it, and if you give every hour a different theme, there's actually, I need more hours to get all the things that we would need to get in that you'd see at a regular farm show. So this will be great fun. Looking forward to it.
Good deal. November 5th. Make sure to put that on your calendar. So for Bridget, myself, we want to thank everybody for joining us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. Don't go anywhere. The #1 show in the nation. It's just been vaulted to #1 in the nation. The Jay Thomas Show. That's coming up next.